It's time to join your host, Jean-Francois Gemme, founder of List Building Anonymous, the 12-step program for building a profitable online business, and the only podcast which delivers A to Z strategies from the online trenches and experts straight to you.
Hi, my name is Jean-Francois, and I'm a list builder. I want to welcome you to today's episode where we'll go over the step 3 of the 12-step program for building profitable online business. So the step 3 is we made a decision to turn our focus onto providing value first. And this is a very important topic because I see most of the people, I would say about 98% of them, that they try to build a business, but they are still in employee mindset. And there's a shift that needs to be done. And that shift, I would call it to turn our focus onto providing value first. Because with the employee mindset, and I can totally understand that and relate to that, because before I start to build online business about 10 years ago, I was at that same point where in my previous job, I was used to be paid even no matter if it was hourly or maybe monthly, but I was paid to do some times at a workplace. But it didn't matter if I provide more or less value. It didn't really matter. Sometimes it could help getting raised, but the raise were so little that didn't really worth working hard. Even though I'm a hardworking guy, and but it's not just me. It also, I see that for many other people. So the importance in providing value first is what will really separate people that will be very successful than other that will take more time to be successful. Because first, people will eventually decide to do business with us after they see that we can help them in any way, but by providing value, it will show them that we can actually help them. So that will eventually take the decision to do business with us. The other thing also I want to talk about is what determines our value in the marketplace. And that is simply our skill set. So the more we can improve on our skill set and improve as a person, that will increase our value. And in order to do that, some of the things that I do personally is make sure that every day I read for at least 30 minutes. Also, I will listen to some form of training, whether it be online course, for example, but it can also be recordings that I have on a specific subject. And so listen to something like that. So, and the great thing about listening to a recording, it could be a podcast episode, for example. But the great thing about that is it can be done during a downtime. So, for example, if I'm driving my car or if I'm doing the dishes, for example, I can have something in my ears that I can do at the same time. So that's a great thing compared to reading, which when you read, it's difficult to do something else at the same time. So these are things that I do on a daily basis. For sure, there's some day that for some reason I can do one of these, but it's okay to not be perfect. And so what I do is that days where I have more flexibility, I'll read more. So, but even if there's some days that I can do it, it's okay. We need to feel okay with not being perfect. And the last thing I want to talk about is the 2 most profitable skill set when it comes to be able to build a business. And this would be, for me, the ability to tell our story and also the leadership skills. Because first, our story is really what gets people to identify with us, but also establish trust. So that's really at the same time that we provide value first. If we have the ability to tie the content that we provide with our personal story, and we can draw points with a story that happened in our past, it's really powerful, and it gives the ability to people to really connect on a deeper level with us be able to identify with us, see in their own past some things that are similar to what we're sharing. And leadership also is really important, because that's when you are able to lead by example, people will more likely feel compelled to follow you. So in this episode, we focus on turning our focus onto providing value first by digging into the importance of the providing value. We also talked about what determines our value in the marketplace. And lastly, we saw what are the two most profitable skill sets. So this is essential to determine how much impact we want to make in the world. So later this week, we'll talk again about this step 3, but we'll have an amazing guest. So I really encourage that you be there for that episode. And for next week, we'll continue with step 4. That is, we made a searching and fearless inventory of ourselves to reveal our superpower. I want to thank you for tuning in and look forward to lock arms with you and together master these steps. So until then, I wish you an amazing journey.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.